about neuro, yes, science. All right, you might have seen the jingle about, TV and of course heard it on radio, talking about the first South Neurological and Neurospine International Conference that is taking place. It started 24th, right? And today being 27, might just been the last day for this particular conference. To talk about this, our expectations, and of course the implication of this particular conference, I have Dr. Yara Bubakar, Gagarawa consultant, laparoscopic surgeon, CMD, RUTH, Okada. Doc, it's a pleasure having you here in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
All right. As I very close to him is Dr. Singh Bharti, consultant neurosurgeon, Apollo Hospital, Delhi, India. Can I say namaste?
Namaste.
All right. And of course, Dr. Mansour Mohammed Idris, consultant neurosurgeon, National Hospital, Abuja.
My pleasure to be with
All right.
you.
See, docs are here with me in the studio. Maybe, just maybe, I may just turn up to be one of these doctors one of this day. So let us start off from you, Gagarawa. You've been the host. The neurosurgeon has been there for quite a long time, but in Nigeria, in some climes, it seems somehow new. It seems somehow strange. Maybe like neurosurgical. What is it really all about, Doc?
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
and thank you, the audience. The Ibinidian University Teaching Hospital, Okada, hosted the first South-South Neurosurgical and Neurospine Conference in Okada. And neurosurgery is all about operations in the brain for disorders of the brain and also operations in the spine. We are able to identify the gaps in best practices for such kind of diseases because neurosurgery is the most stringent part of surgical practice. It has a lot of peculiar demands.
Yeah.
Peculiar demands related to training, peculiar demands related to equipment. And we feel that Nigerians have to cover this gap. And that's why we call international experts and the national experts together in Ibinidian University Teaching Hospital, Okada, to assess the current situation and forge the way forward.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Gagarawa. Now let me come to Dr. Singh. What are we going to be expecting after this conference?
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
It's really a pleasure to be here. So, actually, the moment I landed here, my view towards from the road itself, it started. The conditions where the traffic sense from, the road coverages and everything. So from there, the trauma starts. The first and foremost thing in neurosurgery is trauma management. Okay, good thing is that it has been already set up. Okay, from there, I showcased my surgical expertise here and what all I do there back home in India. So after the conference, as Professor said, that there is a huge gap. So we are eager and motivated to fill that gap, right from the basics to the top. So we plan out how to build a world-class hospital and with all the latest gadgets in it. So it is a task, but we are hopeful that we'll reach to it.
All right. Like what Doc said, he said it's quite interesting. We have to do with the brain. And of course, the spinal cord. Now tell me, what do you think should be done in a country like ours to bridge those gaps? You talk about building a hospital. What about the manpower, Dr. Mansour?
Yeah, thank you very much, the host of this program. Thank you, the audience. The manpower gap, not only in neurosurgery, but in other surgical and non-surgical subspecialty, need to be in tune with global best practice. You can have all kind of equipment, but if you don't have trained manpower, those equipment are useless. So there is urgent need for international collaboration in terms of training and retraining of health professionals. I just finished a fellowship in Wiesbaden, Germany. I went there for 8 weeks, extensive training on the use of neuronavigation. Neuronavigation is like a GPRS that show you your location while operating on the brain and spinal cord. And sadly, there is no such machine in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. I think the whole of Africa, you can only find neuronavigation in Morocco and Egypt and some part of South Africa. So with this kind of collaboration with the Indian expert, we hope to bring those latest equipment into the country. We will send our people to get trained on those machines so that we can have an in-house manpower that can work with those latest equipment. Without equipment and trained manpower, neurosurgical practice will not be where it is supposed to be.
All right. Now, from what he said these techniques, or let's say the machine, manpower, they're not even available in the whole of sub-Sahara Africa. Now, will the Benito University of Carter, after this conference, become a base for the machines to come in? And of course, we have a doctor saying that will come around to come, teach doctors. Is that what we're expecting after this conference?
Yes, part of the conference, we discuss the needs, all the needs, and we have set timeline for us to act. We assess our buildings. The buildings have to be structurally adapted to adopt some of these machines, and already we have discussed way forward on getting the machines into the country so that Benedict University would be a pioneer and a leader in providing such kind of equipment. So we are motivated to fill in the gap, to reverse the health tourism and train our people so that our population get access to this kind of high-tech surgical practice. And at the end, there will be good outcome and there will be safety for the Nigerian patients.
All right, Dr. Singh. Now, what do you think is the time frame from your own calculation and analysis on how to get this thing done? One, getting the machine, and two, training the manpower to really operate this machine to have the seamless operation that has to do with the brain and, of course, the spine.
Yeah, the timeline has to be planned accordingly because it starts from the basic infrastructure. The infrastructure, this formation of the hospital takes time. The moment it is done, we expect that in another 6 months. If after that, the procurement of the installment of the latest techniques, gadgets will be done. That may take around 1 to 2 months, not more than that.
All right.
And the training part, that is the most important part. Initially, few staff, it could be from sisters, paramedical staffs to the specialists, because even the sisters associated paramedical staff are very important in that. Of course, the senior staff, senior surgeons are important because along with that, they alone can't do the
True.
with that, the paramedical staff who can actually run the CT MRI machines, from the dialysis unit, there are different units setting up all the different subspecialties. So staff would be there. That may take 6 months to 1 year to train.
So between 6 months and 1 year.
Yeah, training is important. It takes time.
Wow,
It
wow,
takes it
wow.
takes
It
time.
takes time, but at least within 6 months and 1 year.
Now, see, if someone is working with a team of experts, we are constantly doing the surgeries. Suppose in a day, if we do 2 to 3 surgeries, neurosurgical major surgeries can take the whole day actually.
All right.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
so if someone is working for 1 week with you, obviously he'll grab the thing. When he's working for 6 months, he's
It's
into it, he's
faster.
into the system.
All right,
Okay.
Dr. Manson. Now we're talking about in Nigeria. The new proposal right now is to like end or reduce medical tourism. Do you think that with this in place, it will be one aspect of reducing or stopping medical tourism? Because there are some operations that cannot be conducted in Nigeria. With this now that is being formed, do you think that will help in any way?
Well, providing the enabling environment in terms of purchase of machines and manpower certainly will curtail the about $1 billion Nigerians spend for medical
1
tourism.
billion US
Yes,
dollars
annually on medical tourism.
annually.
Yes,
Yes, true.
it's over that. When you look at the cost of treatment, the cost of paying for flight, hotel, and etc., it's over $1 billion that we're spending on medical tourism. Then apart from that, we need to also, I have highlighted that yesterday in my presentation, the issue of health insurance. Less than 5% of Nigerians are covered by insurance. So hospitals and medical services need to be reimbursed appropriately. So at least there should be intentional drive to cover not less than 50% of Nigerians on health insurance. Because with, as he mentioned, trauma is an unplanned injury to the human body. You don't plan to have accidents, but you can plan pregnancy, you can plan to go for degenerative disease treatment or tumor, but you don't plan for accident.
True.
So majority of patients we manage at a national trauma center, you find out that they can't even afford feeding, talk less of doing a major brain surgery or paying for CT scan. So we need a national plan that will cover not less than 50% of Nigerians, so that if there is accident, you know that you can easily access medical care. So certainly, bringing the equipment and the machines is one aspect. Then the healthcare financing is also another aspect that we need to consider in Nigeria.
All right, Dr. Manso. Well, it's all about the first South Neurological and Neuro-Spine International Conference, expectations and, of course, implications for Nigerians. And I have seasoned doctors here in the studio. We have Gagarawa, the CMD of IUTH, and of course, Dr. Singh Bharti, all the way from India. Yes, Apollo's Hospital, right? A very seasoned neurosurgeon. And I don't forget to mention Dr. Manta. And together, they're trying to tell you the importance of us having a base in Nigeria. Don't forget, we don't have a base of this neurosurgical, I want to put it now, segment or sector in the sub-Sahara Africa. And that is quite disturbing. Will make more sense in course of this discussion after this break. Do stay. If you just joined us, this is TMI, and we are taking a look at the first South Neurological and Neuro-Spine International Conference that is taking place right now in RUTH, CADA. Now, this is like the first of its kind in this particular region. I have a singular pleasure and honor to have with me in the studio Dr. Yao Abubakar Gagarawa, consultant, laparoscopic surgeon, CMD, RUTH Okada, and of course Dr. Singh Bharti, consultant neurosurgeon, Apollo Hospital, Delhi, India, and don't forget to mention Dr. Mansur Mohammed Idris, consultant neurosurgeon, National Hospital, Abuja. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to really have you with me in the studio. Now, let me come to you, Dr. Gagarawa. When you take a look at this particular venture, talking about the structure, talking about the equipment, the cost implication. Is IUTH going to bear the burden alone, or you're going to do it maybe in conjunction with one or two hospital or NGOs or any governmental organization, at least to lighten the burden?
The current situation we are, IUTH wants to provide a leading role for people to come in and organizations to solve this problem. We are going to provide the leadership role, and we are open to collaboration because the mega structures and the equipments and the training needs for neurosurgical specialty and by extension all other neurosurgical surgical specialty is enormous. So we would welcome people to come in for collaborations and so that we solve this problem for Nigerians. But for the time being, we're going to do the best we can in providing the basic takeoff in this field. And we are welcoming ideas from the public and from corporate organizations and then our international collaborators so that we solve this problem.
All right. Well, Dr. Singh, I believe that you've interfaced with some of the doctors we have in Nigeria. From your own analysis, are they really set for this particular milestone when you talk about neurosurgeon?
See, I have met few of the doctors there. So they are into it because they have trained outside and then come here. So they are already trained into it. So only the thing which is missing is the gadgets, the equipments. Okay, maybe as doctor has recently done his neuronavigation training in Germany, so he can easily get into the system. Few people maybe they have done few years back. They need a month or two of training. They are into it. So I don't think that will be a problem.
So maybe we are set for it, just the equipment.
Yeah, of course. And
All right.
Obviously, the doctors, the surgeons are important, and basically all doctors won't be trained outside. Initially, few of the doctors will be trained outside and they'll come here and they'll train the junior doctors. That's how
It's like,
we will develop it.
training and retraining thing from top to bottom.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Now, Dr. Mansa, you talked about insurance. Nigerians keen into insurance, but do you feel that some of these insurance company, when you talk about health insurance company, can really support these Nigerians? Because take it or leave it, neurosurgeon is not a main fit. We're talking about financial implication. How do you think they'll be able to muzzle some of this financial constraint?
Well, globally, when you talk of healthcare finances and the potentials, they are quite enormous. And healthcare industry is an ecosystem. Ecosystem in the sense that you manage hospitals, you manage ambulance services, you dedicate training, you can create universities dedicated to medical services. There are a lot of consumables that are used in the hospitals, bed sheet. So it's an ecosystem. There are a lot of potentials in healthcare industry. So what our maybe you are referring to what we call HMOs, Health Management Organization, who are saddled with reimbursing healthcare payment, and they have a lot of resources. So they should think of what is happening globally. They should invest, because if you leave all these things to government, the expenditure is quite enormous. So the HMO should come and massively invest. And I'm sure with the population of Nigeria, within short period of time, they will be able to recuperate their industry. Then quality healthcare services will be provided and job opportunity, and we'll keep our resources within Nigeria. And there are a lot of potentials in Nigeria. So I'm urging not only the HMOs, corporate bodies, private individuals should invest more resources in healthcare. Globally, as I said even yesterday, government has no business in running hospitals. 95% of hospitals in Germany are private. So what Nigerian government need to do is to provide enabling environment, laws, and incentive for healthcare to thrive. So I think the private sector has a lot of role to play in financing healthcare.
All right. As we speak right now, the conference is ongoing. So how can one be part of this conference? I'm talking to the nation, talking to viewers beyond Nigeria, beyond Africa. We're talking about global presence right now. Dr. Gagarawa, what can you say to people that really want to be part of this conference?
Okay, the conference actually started on 24th.
Yeah.
We are rounding up today. And but the spirit continues. So we have already given the numbers through various social and mainstream media.
Yeah.
And people can reach out to us and discuss the way forward, how to build this system and the structure that would solve our neurosurgical needs. We shouldn't, as Nigerians, wait for people to come from outside and do the task for us alone.
Yeah.
We can collaborate with people outside, but the main responsibility remains for Nigerians. So we are calling on everybody to reach out to us and discuss on the way forward on this major task, which is a national responsibility.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gagarawa. Well, Dr. Singh, your experience thus far in Nigeria, how's it been? You talked about the roads, talked about trauma. How's it?
See, when we talk about neurosurgery,
Yeah.
the first thing which comes in mind is trauma. So the moment you go on the road, you obviously see, people should, the road safety week has to be there.
Yeah.
We have to train, at the grassroots level.
Yeah.
The use of helmets and seat belts, the traffic management things. These are simple things, but very, very important and impactful it will be on the community.
Yeah.
And gradually, the children, as they grow and they learn, that will get into the system. So that will be a right way. And I find when I landed in Abuja, it was really hot. While I was traveling to this place, it was getting cooler and cooler.
Cooler, yeah.
And it was really nice.
But no, we had a nice time having fun. Nigerian hospitality, we are very, very hospitable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Dr. Mansa, your word of advice to teaming viewers right now about the new scape, so to speak, of neurosurgery.
Well, we are steadily making progress in Nigeria, and the future is bright. I urge all Nigerians to have confidence in us. We are ready. If enabling environment is provided, we are ready to work. Like I spent 8 weeks in Germany. They have offered me a job that will pay me about 25 million naira per month.
Come on.
And with the incentive, any surgery I perform, they will give me 10 to 15%. But I decline.
Because of the love for your country.
Yes, I so much believe in this country. I say no. I have gotten the training. I am coming back to Nigeria. The same thing with my boss, Dr. Gagarawa.
Yeah.
Sometime he was in UK. He did his master's in laparoscopic surgery. He was also offered a job. He declined. So we so much believe in Nigeria, and if these equipment are provided, not only me, so many doctors, this Japa syndrome that we are having, people are living on daily basis. I started training with about 6 doctors.
Yeah.
I'm the only one remaining. The 5 are in UK and US.
Wow.
My boss, Dr. Gagara, knows about that. So, and you can't blame them. My salary is less than 1 million naira.
Wow. As a doctor?
Yes, as a neurosurgeon. But these are people that are earning almost 10 million naira per month in UK. So, but we still believe in Nigeria, and by the grace of God, things will happen. I have seen some commitment, in terms of some government policies that are actually driving people to stay, and also the promise to provide the necessary equipment. Thank you so much to be with you. Thank you for your program.
All right. Thank you.
Audience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gagarawa. I appreciate your comment, Dr. Singh.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, Dr. Manso. So good to have you here. All of you. Well, you've heard them. The conference is very much on. Today's, the last day, the first South Neurological Spine International Conference. You've heard about the expectation. This is like, calling for collaboration. If you're a non-governmental organization, you discover that you really have interest in this particular, horizon, a different landscape, so to speak. You can come partner with RUTH, all right? You can partner with RUTH. Maybe you are a government official, you know one or two buttons to press to make this dream come into reality. Come partner with RUTH for Dr. Singh Bharti, all the way from Apollo Hospital in India, one of the top neurosurgeons, coming straight down to RUTH. They used to tell you that we mean business, and RUTH, they are setting the pace for others to follow. Doctors, thank you so much. I appreciate your comment.